You're asleep, safe in your bed, the world quiet around you. Then, in an instant, your eyes snap open. You don't know why, but every nerve in your body screams danger. Your heart pounds, your skin prickles, and you realize, you're not alone. That's how it started for me. One night, in my cozy little house in suburban Ohio, my son, my own flesh and blood, slipped into my room while I slept. He didn't speak. He didn't move. He just stood there watching me, and what I discovered next turned my life upside down. Welcome to Whisper's story, where the shadows of everyday life unravel into tales you'll never forget. Buckle up, ladies. This one's going to keep you awake long after it ends. I woke up to the cold. Not the kind of cold you feel when the heater's on the fritz or you've kicked off the blankets in your sleep. No, this was a sharp, prickling cold that started at the base of my spine and crawled up my neck like icy fingers. My eyes were already open from that jolt. You know the one, where your body knows something's wrong before your mind does. The room was pitch black, the kind of dark that swallows you whole. I lay there, frozen under my quilt, my breath shallow, waiting for my brain to catch up. Something was off. I could feel it, heavy and thick, like the air itself was pressing down on me. I'm a light sleeper. Always have been. 42 years of motherhood, a divorce, and a career in real estate will do that to you. Every creak of the house, every hum of the fridge, it's all catalogued in my head. But this wasn't the house settling. This wasn't the wind rattling the old windows of my little craftsman. This was something else. Something alive. My mind raced back to the night before. I'd gone to bed early, wiped out from showing a split level to a picky couple who couldn't decide between granite countertops or a bigger garage. My son, Ethan, was home from college for the weekend, 20 years old, lanky, with that quiet intensity he'd had since he was a kid. He'd been in the living room when I'd said goodnight, sprawled on the couch with his laptop, the blue glow lighting up his sharp cheekbones. "Night, Mom," he'd mumbled, barely looking up. Normal. Routine. Safe. So why was I lying here now, heart pounding, convinced I wasn't alone? Then I heard it. A soft shuffle, like bare feet on hardwood. My bedroom door was closed. I always close it, but the sound was close. Too close. My stomach twisted, and I reached for the lamp on my nightstand, fumbling in the dark. The switch clicked, but nothing happened. No light. No comforting yellow glow. Just the black, and that shuffle again, louder this time, right at the foot of my bed. I bolted upright, clutching the quilt to my chest. Ethan. I thought, my voice trapped in my throat. It had to be him, right? Maybe he'd had a nightmare, like when he was little, and come looking for me. But Ethan hadn't had nightmares since he was 8. And this didn't feel like a scared kid. This felt wrong. I squinted into the darkness, my eyes adjusting just enough to make out a shape. Tall, thin, motionless. Standing there, watching me. My breath caught, and for a split second, I thought, this isn't Ethan. But then the shape shifted, and I saw the outline of his messy hair, the slope of his shoulders. Relief flooded me, warm and shaky, but it didn't last. Because he didn't move. He didn't speak. He just stood there staring, and the cold came back, sharper than before. Have you ever woken up to a moment that felt off, like the world tilted just a little too far? How did you shake that feeling, or did it linger? I didn't sleep after that. How could I? The image of Ethan standing there, silent and still, burned into my brain like a photograph I couldn't unsee. I'd whispered his name, my voice trembling, and he'd just turned and walked out, the door clicking shut behind him. No explanation. No sorry, Mom, I didn't mean to scare you. Just gone. By morning, I was a wreck, puffy eyes, coffee in hand, replaying it over and over. I sat at the kitchen table, the sun streaming through the window, painting the room in soft gold. It should have felt normal, cozy even, but it didn't. The house felt different, like it was holding its breath. Ethan shuffled in around 10, his hoodie pulled up, earbuds dangling from his neck. "Morning," he said, grabbing a banana from the counter. He looked fine. Tired maybe, but fine. I studied him, searching for something, anything, to explain last night. His dark eyes flicked to mine, and I forced a smile. "Sleep okay?" I asked, casual as I could manage. "Yeah," he said, peeling the banana. "You?" My chest tightened. Did he not remember? Was he messing with me? I wanted to ask, to blurt out, "Why were you in my room? Why didn't you say anything?" But I didn't. I just nodded, sipping my coffee, letting the moment slip away. Maybe I'd dreamed it. Maybe I'd imagined the whole thing. But I hadn't. I knew I hadn't. That day, I couldn't focus. I cancelled a showing, blaming a headache, and paced the house instead. I checked the lamp. Bulb was fine, must have been a glitch. I stood in my bedroom doorway, staring at the spot where he'd been, trying to make sense of it. Ethan was my kid, my only kid. We weren't perfect, divorce does that to a family, but we were close. He'd always been quiet, introspective, but never creepy. Never unsettling. I started digging. Not literally, but in my head. I thought about the past few months. His calls from college, short and distracted. His grades slipping, according to the portal I still had access to. The way he'd been glued to that laptop since he got home. Was he stressed? Depressed? On something? I didn't know, and that scared me more than the night itself. I decided I'd talk to him. Tonight. No more guessing. I'd sit him down, look him in the eye, and figure out what was going on. I was his mom. I could handle this. When something feels off with someone you love, trust your gut, but take a breath before you act. What's one small step you could take to get clarity in a situation like that? Dinner was my chance. I made spaghetti, his favorite, hoping the smell of garlic and tomatoes would soften the mood. The kitchen was warm, the table set, and I'd rehearsed what I'd say. "Ethan, I'm worried about you." "What's going on?" Simple, direct, mom-like. He came down when I called, slumping into his chair with that half-smile he always gave when food was involved. For a minute, it felt normal. We ate, the clink of forks against plates filling the silence. I almost chickened out, almost let it go. But then I saw it, a flicker in his eyes, quick and dark, like a shadow passing over water. "Ethan," I started, setting my fork down. "Last night, you came into my room. You didn't say anything. It freaked me out." He froze mid-bite, then lowered his fork slowly. "What are you talking about?" My heart sank. "You were standing there, at the foot of my bed. I saw you." He frowned, leaning back. "Mom, I was in my room all night. I didn't get up." The air shifted, heavy and electric. He was lying. I knew it. I could feel it in the way his jaw tightened, the way his fingers tapped the table. But why? What was he hiding? "I didn't imagine it," I said, my voice sharper than I meant. "The lamp wouldn't turn on, and you were there. I'm not crazy." He stared at me, then laughed. A short, dry sound that didn't reach his eyes. "Maybe you were sleepwalking or something." "I don't know." Sleepwalking? Me? I wanted to scream. Instead, I stood, grabbing the plates, my hands shaking. "Fine. Forget it." But I didn't forget it. I couldn't. After he went upstairs, I sat on the couch, staring at his laptop on the coffee table. He'd left it there, screen dark, tempting me. I'd never snooped before, never had to. But now? Now I needed answers. I opened it. No password, thank God for small miracles. The screen lit up, and my stomach dropped. Dozens of tabs, all open, articles about local crimes, missing persons, grainy photos of abandoned houses. One tab caught my eye, a forum post titled Justice for the Forgotten. I clicked it, my pulse racing. It was a thread about a girl, Lila Hayes, 19, vanished 2 years ago from our town. The police had called it a runaway case, but the forum didn't buy it. They thought she'd been taken, maybe killed, and they were obsessed. Names, dates, theories. Ethan's username was all over it, Shadowseeker. My son was hunting a mystery. And I had no idea why. Have you ever discovered something about someone close to you that changed how you saw them? How did you handle it? I didn't confront him that night. I couldn't. My head was spinning, a mess of fear and questions. Why was Ethan obsessed with Lila Hayes? Did he know her? Was this why he'd been so distant, so strange? And, God help me, why had he been in my room? The next day, he left early, saying he was meeting a friend. I didn't believe him. I watched his car pull out of the driveway, then grabbed my keys. I was done waiting. I'd follow him, see where he went, what he was hiding. He drove to the edge of town, to a run-down street I'd never had reason to visit. The houses were sagging, windows boarded up, yards choked with weeds. He parked near an old Victorian, its paint peeling like dead skin, and got out, carrying a flashlight. My car idled a block away, headlights off, as I watched him slip inside. I should have called someone, police, a friend, anyone. But I didn't. I followed him. The house smelled of mold and rot, the floor creaking under my sneakers. I heard him upstairs, footsteps heavy and deliberate. My heart pounded as I climbed, each step a battle between fear and need. At the top, I saw him in a room, flashlight beam cutting through the dark. He was kneeling, prying up a floorboard. "Ethan," I whispered, stepping forward. He spun around, eyes wide, and for a second, I didn't recognize him. His face was hard, older somehow, like he'd aged 10 years in a night. "Mom? What the hell are you doing here?" "I could ask you the same thing," I said, my voice shaking. "What is this? Lila Hayes? The forums?" He stood, slow and deliberate, the flashlight casting shadows across his face. "You don't get it," he said. "You don't know what they did." "Who?" I stepped closer. "Ethan, talk to me." He laughed again, bitter and raw. "The cops. The rich assholes who run this town. They covered it up. Lila didn't run away. She was murdered, by someone with money, someone they protected." My knees went weak. "And you're, what? Solving it? Breaking into houses?" "I'm finding proof," he snapped. "Her necklace is here." "I know it is." I stared at him, my son, my quiet bookish boy, now a stranger with dirt on his hands and fire in his eyes. And then it hit me, the night in my room. He hadn't been sleepwalking. He'd been testing me, watching me, seeing if I'd wake up. Because he was planning something. Something dangerous. Sometimes the people we love carry burdens we can't see. If you could reach out to someone struggling, what would you say to let them know they're not alone? I tried to stop him. I grabbed his arm, pleading, "Ethan, this isn't you. Let the police handle it." He yanked away, eyes blazing. "The police? They're why she's dead. I'm doing this, for her, for justice." Before I could argue, the floorboard gave way under his weight. He fell, a sickening thud echoing through the house. I screamed, dropping to my knees, peering into the hole. He was sprawled below, groaning, flashlight rolling across the floor. "Ethan." I scrambled down, my hands shaking as I checked him. A cut on his forehead, blood trickling, but he was alive. I pulled him up, my mind racing. We had to get out, now. That's when I saw it. Glinting in the dust, caught in a crack, a silver necklace, a tiny heart pendant. Lila's. He'd been right. He grabbed it, clutching it like a lifeline. See? I told you. I didn't care. I dragged him out, my breath ragged, the necklace burning a hole in my thoughts. We stumbled to the car, and I drove, tires screeching, my hands white on the wheel. He was silent, staring at the pendant, and I realized I'd lost him, not to the fall but to this obsession. At home, I locked the doors, my voice low and firm. You're done, Ethan. No more. We're taking this to the police. Real police, not your conspiracy theories. He glared at me, the necklace tight in his fist. You don't understand. They'll bury it again. Then we make them listen, I said, my own anger rising. But you don't get to throw your life away for this. He didn't answer. He just stood there, breathing hard, and I knew this wasn't over. Have you ever had to draw a line with someone you love, even when it hurt? How did you find the strength to do it? The next week was a blur. I took the necklace to a detective I trusted, Mark, an old friend from high school. Ethan fought me every step, but I didn't budge. Mark listened, his face grim, and promised to look into it. Days later he called, the necklace matched Lila's, and they'd reopened the case. A local developer, some big shot with a mansion and a reputation, was now a suspect. Ethan didn't celebrate. He sat on the couch, staring at the floor, the fire in him dimmed. I wanted to do it myself, he said finally. To make it right. I sat beside him, my hand on his shoulder. You did. You found the truth. But you don't have to carry it alone. He looked at me, eyes wet, and for the first time in months I saw my son. Not the vigilante, not the shadow, just Ethan. We talked, really talked, about Lila, about the weight he'd been carrying, about the privilege that let some people walk away from crimes while others paid. I changed too. I'd always thought I could fix everything. My marriage, my kid, my life. But this? This taught me I couldn't control it all. I could only show up, fight when it mattered, and let go when it didn't. The case is still open, but Ethan's back at school, lighter somehow. And me? I'm still here, in this creaky old house, listening to the night. But it doesn't scare me anymore. And there it is, ladies. The night my world cracked open, the night I learned how far the shadows can stretch, even into the people we love most. But here's the thing, what if I hadn't woken up? What if I'd stayed asleep, blissfully unaware, while Ethan slipped deeper into the dark? You're lying in bed tonight, eyes closed, breathing steady. Will you hear the shuffle? Will you feel the cold? Or will you miss it, like I almost did, until it's too late? This is Whisper's story, where the quiet moments hide the loudest truths. If you felt that chill down your spine, if you're still wondering what's lurking in your own life, don't wait. Subscribe to Whisper's story right now. Hit that button, because next time, the story might be yours, and you won't want to miss a single whisper. Sleep tight. If you can.